Hello everyone. So today we are going to learn how to import and use local object data in React. So basically objects, if you don't know, are represented with curly brackets. So if you search for object in JavaScript on W3 Schools, this is what you should get. Yeah, something like this, like we have a key and a value pair. So these are called basically objects in JavaScript. So today we are going to learn and understand how to like create a local file in which we can store these objects and how to use them and import them in React.js. So that will be the agenda for today. Now objects are also called as JSON sometimes because it is a representation format. So JSON is basically a representation format or JavaScript object notation format which is used interchangeably with object notation as well. So coming back to the session for today, the agenda will be to understand what is import and export keyword because we are going to use these keywords to handle our object data or to import the object data from some file and use that in React. Then we are going to understand two different ways to export the object in React.js, and in the last part of our session, we are going to understand how to iterate over that object in our React component to show that data to the end user. So that is going to be the agenda for today. If you want, you can take notes in between. So please keep a diary or notes app open if you want to take some notes. And with that in mind, let's start off with the session for today. Now, the first part, as I mentioned, is to understand what is import and export keyword. So for that, I'm going to just report the MD and JavaScript info docs. So basically, whenever I want to use any kind of variable from one file, like I want to make use of variables written in one file in another, what I will do is I will use export keyword to basically export or make that variable available to be used in another file. So whenever we use export keyword, we make that variable, any kind of variable, available to be used in other file. If it is not exported, that variable is generally restricted to the file itself. Like we cannot use it in other files. That is why we use export keyword. Now, once the any kind of file or variable is basically exported in some file, we can then use the import keyword to import it in some other file as well. For example, let's say we have a function here, like let's say say hi, say bye in this example. So we have exported those two functions like this using the export keyword. And here we have imported this function, like let's say hi bye from this file, which is let's say say.js. And then we can call those functions with the value and the output will get printed. So that is basically how import and export keywords work. Now the area of interest for today will be to export some form of object like this and then use that object in our React code. So coming to the React code, I have created a app here. Let me just remove the extra code. I was just practicing before the lecture. So I have created a basic React app using the create React app module. So using this create React app CLI, you can create a new app by running the command npx create React app and the app name. So just like that, I have created a JSON import project. And within that JSON import project, I have removed the default header and we have a simple header, which is let's say a header with some site title. That's it. And if we come back to our page, we will have a site title like this. I have Bootstrap imported, that is why the header is in black and the text is in white. Now, as I mentioned that we want to use the object from some another file, right? So let's say we have a data source.js file created. So you can go to the src folder, click on new file option and give it a name. For example, let's say data source or something like that. So we have a data source.js file created here. And let's say I have a object defined here. For example, let's say I have an object called student details. And in the student details, let's say I have a name of the student. For example, Joe. The age of Joe, let's say 18. And we can also have, let's say, occupation. Let's say Joe's occupation is developer. Let me just convert this to string as well. Software developer to be more precise. So let's say we have an object defined like this, and I want to use this object in my app.js main component. So how do I do that? Now the first way in which we can do this is to add an export keyword before this const like this. Once I've exported a const student details using the export keyword, it can be now used in any files by using the import keyword. So basically export is used to make the variable available from some file. Import is used to use that way available variable in some other file. So in order to use this variable, which is let's say student details in my app.js file, I will write import and curly brackets. Within that curly brackets, I will write the student details variable here because I am importing student details, and we will have to specify the file name after from. So the syntax is import, then the variable or the actual entity which needs to be imported, and we use then from for specifying the location from which the variable needs to be imported. So in our case, we have /data source.js. So this should do. We don't have to specify .js extension. We can just write data source. JavaScript knows that you are using a .js file. Once we have imported the variable, we can first log it out. So I can type log space tab, hit tab, and let's just print out student details first. Now, in order to view the data, we come back to our website, click on inspect, and go to the console. And in the console, we have an object written here because it is a JavaScript object. And if we expand it by clicking this arrow, we'll have the age, name, and occupation printed out here. Now, once I have my age, name, and occupation printed out, I can just write them in my divs. So we can have something like, let's say, name as student details dot name, and as you can see, we have the name printed here as Joe. Then in another div, we could have age, which would be student details dot age, and as you can see, we have the text printed out here. Let's just give an H1 tag so that it is visible properly, because if you are watching from mobile screens, the text might be too small to view. So let me just add this in H1 tag, and even this one as well. And we have the name and age printed out here. So this is the first way in which you can export student details. As I had mentioned in the agenda, we have another kind of export which is called as default export. So how do we use that? So in case of default, we don't write export keyword before the const variable. What we do is we just write the const as like this, and we write export default. Default is a keyword and the student details. Once I'm done with that, I will have to make slight modification in my component code or with my import code. So in this case, what default means is that no matter how many constants are there in this file, this is the variable which will be available by default, or whenever I am importing any, or I am importing this file, this variable will be available by default as a default value. So whenever any value is available as a default, we don't need to specify the curly brackets. We can just remove the curly brackets like this and just write import the variable name from the data source file. We don't use curly brackets in this case because this assumes that this is the only variable which you want to use in your other file, and you don't want to have like a specific couple of variables or multiple variables which you want to use from a particular file. Let's say this is the only object or the only variable which you want to use in some other file. You can just write export default, and once you are done with that, the rest of the code remains same. So as you can see, we have the data printed out here. Now, when to use default and when to use const. So let's say I have two variables instead of one, like let's say we have school details as well. And in school details, we have, let's say, school name to something like, I don't know, IIT. Okay, we are talking about schools, DAV or something like that. Then we have, let's say, medium of education. For example, let's say this is English, something like this. So in this case, let's say Joe is studying. Joe is, I think we should go with college because Joe is 18 years old. Joe won't be studying in school anymore. So in case of college, let's say we have an IIT college. We have medium of education as English, and we have branch as computers. Now, once I have these two variables, and if I use export default student details, what will happen is only the student details data will get exported, and the first variable or the second variable, which is college details, won't get exported. So if I want both of them to be exported, I won't use export default. Instead, I will use export const before them, like this. And in this case, I will use curly brackets because I want to use multiple variables here. So in this case, I can go for a comma notation like this, and I can use both of the exported variables from the file. Now, if we come back to our code, the data remains same. And if I print out my college details, just like student details, so college details and college details as well. Now, as you can see in the console, we have the college details as well. So whenever you want to export multiple variables, you use export const. Whenever you want to use a single variable, it is preferred to use default. So in that case, we will use export default, and we remove the export keyword from here. And in that case, we don't use curly brackets like this. Keep that in mind. Whenever you're using export default, don't use curly brackets. The syntax is to use the variable name directly. And let me just comment out this code, and our code is working fine again. Now another specialty of default is, even if you export it by any name here, like let's say if you export it as student details here, you can rename it to any variable that you want. Like example, I can go for student details 2 here, and still it will work. So I will just have to use student details 2 everywhere. And as you can see, the code still works. So specialty of export default is, since it is a default keyword, there is no specific name that needs to be used whenever using default keyword. You can use any name while importing the file. In case of exporting, obviously it needs a reference to what you are exporting, right? So after default, you will specify the variable name which you want to export. But in case of imports, you can use any name here, only in case of default, not in case of export const. Because in case of export const, what happens is, in this case, this won't happen. Like if I go for curly brackets like this, it will throw me at the student details 2 does not exist. Why? Because it is trying to find that specific variable which is student details in my file. That is why the variable names, when you are using export const like this, needs to be same. So in that case, you will have to use the same name everywhere, which is, let's say, student details. But in case of export default, is the default value, you have the freedom to choose any name that you want for import. Okay, and that covers the second part of our agenda, which was to use export and also to understand what is default export. Now the last part of our session agenda is to understand how to iterate our object in React. Now what I mean by iterate is, since there were three entities here, we are able to use, let's say, name and age. But what if there are 4 or 5 entities like this? For example, we have another variable here, which is, let's say, we have a branch here, or we have hobbies. We have Joe's hobby here as well, which is, let's say, reading. And we have skills, let's say. And in skills, we have something like, let's say, Joe knows JavaScript, something like this. So when we have 4-5 variables like this, using those 4-5 variables like div h1, div h1, div h1 for 5 times, we'll be repeating code a lot of times, right? We don't want to do that. Now, how do we iterate over this object which we have in our code and print out all the values instead of doing something like this? So for that, what we do is we make use of arrays. In case of React, we cannot return an object directly. That is not allowed. That is why we need to use arrays to print out those values one by one. So in that case, we write a function here. So let's say a function, and we name that function to something like, let's say, render student details. Now within the student details, we can then iterate over our object, or we can use a loop basically to iterate over our object which we have here and print those values like key value pairs one by one. So in order to do that, we have a specific kind of syntax. Let me just go through that first. In case of objects, we have a notation which is called as object.keys. So if I print out console.log keys of my object, go for object.keys and the student details JSON, something like this. And let me just call this render student details here. And since we are calling it in our render method, we need to return something. Or other than that, what we can do is we can just call this like this. That's even okay for now. So if you observe the last object, no, it is object. So if you observe the last statement printed out here, we have the keys of our object, which is, let's say, we had name, occupation, skills, hobby, and age, right? So object keys basically prints out all the keys in our object. Basically, in objects, we have a key and a value, right? The left hand side of an object is called as a key. So in this case, the entity hobby or name is called as key of the object, and the value is obviously the value of the object. And this one pair of key and value is called as key value pairs in object notation in JavaScript. So if I want to print out all the keys of the object, we print it out like this: name, object, hobbies notation. And now why do I print it out the keys? Because if you observe in the code here, we use, let's say, student details dot name, student details dot age. What are we doing? Basically, we are accessing the value using the key, right? So whenever I am using student details dot name, I am using this key to get access to my value. So I needed all those keys in my code to iterate over them instead of going one by one. That is why I made an array using all those keys. Once I have all my keys, what I can do next is I can use a map function over this. For those of you who don't know about map is a function by which you can iterate over an array and you can get each access to each individual value. So in this case, let's say we have a numbers array like this. So if I use the map method like this, I will get access to each individual elements like 4, 9, 16, and 21. And I can do square root or square or anything like that on those individual values. So in our case, in our app, we have an array like this, like, right, which has the key values. Sorry, the keys, basically, array of keys of the object. So what we can do is we can apply a map function over this keys array and we can get access to each individual key to print out the keys in our React code. So what I am going to do next is I am going to use this same notation, which is object.keys. Now this is going to get slightly complicated, so please play close attention. So I use student details and we use map here and we have individual key access here. So this is the arrow notation which we generally use, and let's just print out all the keys first so that we understand what are we getting when we use map function. So let me just save out the code and come back to our console. So we have the keys of array of keys like this. When we used map, we had access to the each individual key in this array. For example, name, age, occupation, hobby, and skills are getting printed in my console. So now that I have the keys, I can at least print them on the left side, like this, right? Like name, age, and stuff. So let's do that. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an array. So we are going to use a const here, which is, let's say, const student details data, and this will be equal to my map function. Now in within map we can return anything that we want. In our case, I want to return HTML elements just like this. Like I want to return div h1 and div. So what I will do is I will write return here. I will write circular brackets. Within that I will write div and h1. Okay. For now, let's just not even go with keys. Let's just print out something like random text. It's safe. Now, if I return this student details data from this function, so I'm just returning the student details data. I think we can do away with the keys of the object for some time. And instead of calling the function like this, let me just call this function within my return method of the code. So just after this name and age, I'm going to call this function and it's saved. Now, as you can see, we have random text printed out 5 times. Why did that happen? That happened because this map function ran on my array of keys for 5 times. Let me just get back the console.log of array of keys. Let's just print out object.keys. It's saved. So what actually happened was this map function ran on these keys one by one. Since the length of the keys is 5, that is there are 5 keys in this keys array, it ran for 5 times. And since we are returning an HTML element, which is, let's say, random text, what happened was it returned random text 5 times. That is why we have random text printed out here 5 times like this. But we don't want random text, we want name and age to be printed out for this key name basically. So for that, we use curly brackets. Now, whenever we want to make use of variables in React, we use curly brackets, and within that, we specify the variables which we want to use. So instead of printing out random text, what we can do is we can print out the keys which we have. So these keys that we are seeing in console will now get shown in the page. So once I hit save, we have name, age, occupation, hobby, and skills printed out in my website. Now after this, what do we want? We want to actually print out the values with respect to these keys. For example, in front of this name key, I want to print out the value Joe. So how do I do that? Now, if we apply common sense, we will realize that whenever we are using student details.name or we are accessing some value using the key, we get the actual value printed out. For example, student details.name will print out Joe. Student details.age will print out the value 18. Now, in our case, we have these values as variable names, right? So just to show you an example, if I print out something like, let's say, since we are using a variable, we are again using curly brackets, and we print out student details dot, let's say, name everywhere. Now, as you can see, we have the value Joe printed out everywhere. Let me just remove out the initial code from here so that it does not get confusing. Now, as you can see, we have the value Joe printed out everywhere. Why did that happen? Because we printed out showDetail.name. Now, for name key, the Joe value is correct, but for age, we need to print out 18, right? We cannot just print out showDetails.name everywhere. Now, how do I actually print out showDetails.name, .age, .occupation? So for that, we have a notation for objects, which is called as bracket notation. Let me just show you. I think empty and doc should be good enough. So this is what I was talking about. Let's say we have a key here or some variable which I want to print out. So if I go with the dot notation like this, dot first name, it will print out the values. But we have another notation which is called as bracket notation, within which we can specify a string value or a variable value. And even in that case, the output will remain same. For example, if I use dot notation for first name, it will print out the first name. Similarly, if I use bracket like this, and if I pass a string or a variable, it will still print out the value of that variable. For example, person2 bracket string last name will print out do. Even person2 dot last name will print out the same value. Only advantage here is instead of string, we can pass a variable here as well. So in our code, what we can do is instead of using student details dot name like this, I can go with bracket notation. And instead of using name, age, or something like that, I can use this key value which we have here, or the key entity here. So if I pass student details key here and come back to my website, we will have all the values printed out. And just to give you a proper explanation of this, let's say these are my keys which we have, and we are trying to print out the value associated with key after each key entity. So value associated with key. And here, if I print out the student details of key in my console and save, this is how the output looks like. For example, when the key entity points to the name, like when the value of this key or the first element is accessed with the variable as name, the value associated with that name key is Joe in the student details. Similarly, when the key is age, the value is 18. When it is occupation, in our object, when we use student details of key using the array notation, the value software developer is printed. And just to give you a proper or bit more example, if I had used something like name here in the bracket notation, the value will get printed out as Joe in my console. So if we want, we can pass a string here and we will get the individual values like Joe printed every time. But since we had access to a variable key, which was able to access each of the value here, instead of using name like this, we use the key variable. And once we have the key variable, we have the values like Joe 18 software developer and something like that printed in our console. And we have those values printed out here as well. Now, one more addition or additional thing that we can do is we can capitalize the first character in our string. So for that, you can search for code if you want, like how to capitalize first letter of each word, JavaScript. And for capitalize a word should be better because I think yeah, this should be better than that. So this is the syntax which you can use. Basically what we are doing is we are taking the string, we are accessing the first character using the caret method. Let's say it is 0, and we are capitalizing it using the to uppercase method. And the rest of the string is accessed using string.slice, and we are able to capitalize the word. For example, let's say if you have a string foo, this first part of the code will do is it will first access the first character in my string, which is let's say f, and this string dot caret 0 will return the f character. To uppercase will return capital F. This string dot slice 1 will return the rest of the letters in my word, which is let's say double O, and this plus will join them. So we will have capital F and we have the rest of the string joined. That is how we can capitalize the first letter. And I think most of the, or this will be a better way to do, which is to use text transform capitalize. And that was JavaScript notation, but it is slightly complicated. Why to do complicated stuff? Let's just use text transform capitalize here. So what we can do is we can specify a span tag here after key. So let's just wrap our key in a span like this. And if you want, you can even add a span tag for this one as well. Give this a class name as I don't know, title. Take that title and come back to app.css. Use dot title and let's just go with text transform capitalize. And now if we come back to our React code, we have name, age, occupation, hobby printed properly. And I think we can wrap it out here. So that was basically what I wanted to cover, like how to export some values using the local files like this, using the JS file. Like you can export objects like this. You can import those objects using either import keyword like this or using the export default and import without bracket notation. And then you can iterate over that JSON object like this. And that covers the entire session today, which was how to import a local JSON object and how to use that data from the local JSON object in React. I hope the title makes much more sense now. And we are done with all the 3 parts of our lecture for today. If you found this video useful, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more such videos. And if you want, you can connect with me on the social handles mentioned in the video description as well. That's it from my end. Goodbye and have a nice day, everyone. See you.